Next section, 8.4, sharing printers. It's nice to share. We learned how to share when we were babies, hopefully, right? No? Okay. Well, now we're in the military, so we've learned to share responsibility, one team, one fight. So a printer, if you're on a network, right, other users or other devices may need to use that printer. So how can we share? Well, here we have a screenshot of a Windows operating system to be able to share this, which we'll dive deeper into in chapter 11. So this is in control panel, network and internet, and then network and sharing center. And then here you can do change advanced sharing settings. And then here on the right we have file and printer sharing, and you can turn on file and printer sharing. So users on that computer can, files or the printer can be accessed by people on the network. This is inherently a security risk, so probably not something you're going to want to have on by default. Good to go? Next we have, scrolling down, potential data privacy and security issues when sharing printers. Hard drive caching. Now, naturally, right, you print something, that file is going to the printer. The printer has to process it, so it's going to be, at least temporarily, on that printer. So inherently, that is a security risk for whatever information that you're printing. It's going to be cached there. User authentication. Who can control access to the printer? You want to make sure, okay, who can print, etc. Now, a lot of times, if you're printing PII, etc., you may want to store a job on a printer. So it won't print until you're physically there. You put in your CAC, you put in your PIN, and go to stored jobs, and then you can print it. So that way you're not printing some information, right? And then you've got to walk down the hall or wherever, right? And somebody could snatch that up and have access to your information. So that's what you should be doing for CUI, PII, PHI, etc. However, real-world people usually only do it when they need to print onto a specific type of paper. But you should be doing that. Data privacy. Over a network, that data can be intercepted during transmission. Good? Writing? Security concerns, hard drive caching, authentication, and privacy. Another thing is we deal with classifications in the military. So we'll talk more about that in comms. But we can see on your KVMs, you see that unclassified green sticker? There's one on that printer over there as well, right? That means I can print up to unclassified documents, but not anything else, right? So don't be unclassified printer. You can't scan secret or top secret documents there, because then, well, you've got a spillage and a whole bunch of things are going to happen, right? So pay attention, right? Naturally be noticing, right? Green stickers, red stickers, orange stickers, things that we'll get into in comms more. Good?
So if you have like top secret security clearance, like say if we go to a station that needs it, will you keep it if you go to another place that?
Yes, but you only use it when you need it. Good? All right, moving on. Wireless printer connections. We already know about this. Wi-Fi, what's the IEEE standard? 802.11. Has anyone been refreshing on the Alpha, Bravo, Golf standards? Hopefully we have. What's the IEEE standard for Bluetooth? 802.15.1. All right, scrolling down. Scrolling down. A print server. So we know a server offers a service. And we've already talked about the advantages of what a print server can do. If a lot of users are printing, that's a long line, right? But Imagine if, oh, we've got, you've done your analysis before, right?
Yes.
Imagine the waiting room for your analysis is, oh, I can only have 1 or 2 people wait. Everyone else has got to wait outside. That's going to be a long line, right? So you want to be able to have a larger building to hold people in until they can provide their sample. For printers, right, if a bunch of users are printing, you want to be able to store jobs in a queue, in a larger queue. You want users to be able to, oops, I accidentally printed that. Oops, that was a 500-page document. Oops, I only was supposed to print page 2. You should be able to go in and cancel it from spooling, which means cancel it from printing. But if you have just a printer and you've got dozens or hundreds of users connected to it, the likelihood of, oh, I've got too much going on, you want to cancel this, you're trying to print this, it's going to take a long time, and it's probably going to be like, oh, it's all right, my turn to print anyway, so I'm just going to print 500 pages, and everybody else can wait. The print server is going to allow for multiple users to manage all of these print jobs. So they can print, have a longer line, the more RAM to process the queue. So all these users can remotely check the status of their print job. Oh, I can see, okay, I printed this. It's just a Navy instruction on training. So it's unclassified, it doesn't have my PII. When it's done printing, I'll go get it. You can see, okay, where am I in the queue? Oh, all right, there's a bunch of people printing right now. Let me not get up, go walk down the hall to the printer, right? I can see from my desk, oh, it's not done printing yet. Does that make sense to everyone? Or, oh, document waiting in queue because it's out of toner. Okay, well, let me get up and go get some toner and put it in there. Does that make sense? Right. So time management. So information, feedback, all of those things. Easy day? That server is going to allow it to do that. So let's scroll down. Oh, we need more time? All right. All right, so servers. Well, let's talk about you. You all have to shower, bathe daily. You have. We gotta check our maintenance. Okay. Most of you have to shave every day. The men. You've got to keep your barracks room clean. You got to make your bed. We come to class. Everybody cleans their own desks every day. We clean the classroom. We all study. We've got duty. That's a lot of things, right? I mean, maybe. But a server could also, I could be a web server. There's one piece of hardware. I could be a web server. I could be a file server. It could do multiple things, just like you do multiple things every day. However, imagine if your only job was to keep your barracks clean. How clean would your barracks be? You polish the walls, it'd be the cleanest barracks ever, right? If you're doing that 12 hours a day, you'd be good to go, right? So if you have a server that is doing multiple things, it's not as efficient as a dedicated server that's only doing that one thing. It's dedicated to this. That is my sole purpose. I don't have to worry about processing for this over here or this. It's going to be a lot more efficient. So if we scroll down, we can see the next thing is I went too far. We'll scroll down some more, and we'll come back to that. So you have a print server that can do multiple things. Scroll down even more, since I'm talking about this. A dedicated print server will only be doing that thing. So advantage of this is that print server, that dedicated print server, is going to have a powerful processor. It's going to have a lot of storage space and enough memory as well. So we want a powerful processor. Okay, so the dedicated print server, we said it's got a powerful processor, adequate storage space, and enough memory. So the processor, because it's going to be processing a lot of information, it needs to handle all of those requests. Storage, so it can handle all of these print jobs that are coming in. Imagine 100 people printing at once. Well, that's a lot of files, right, that we need to be able to store temporarily until they're printed. And memory, we know that the memory in a printer is important, so it can process all of these things faster. Easy day? All right, I jumped ahead, out of order. My apologies. Let's scroll back up.
That's not collated.
It's not collated of me. Okay. Sure. Cerna?
I'm kind of just confused on the difference between a dedicated print server and other servers, because it can connect to more than one printer at once.
We're going to go over that in a second once we can move on. Where's shut's off? Oh, medical. Newton.
So the adequate memory is different from the adequate storage?
Correct. Storage, right, is hard disk drive, solid state. Memory is our RAM. So you want to have a lot of storage and you want to have a lot of RAM in a print server.
So does the print jobs touch the memory, or like how does that?
It does, yeah, because it's got to get to the CPU, right? So it's in the memory before it goes to the CPU.
So it goes memory and then storage space?
Nope, think back to chapter 1, right? With our North Bridge, South Bridge. South Bridge connects to our storage, slower speed. North Bridge then goes to our RAM, right, before it goes to the CPU.
So I thought it doesn't keep it though. I thought it deletes it after it prints.
Yeah, correct. But it needs to store temporarily. Because this printer, right, if I got a server that's managing that, if we send a bunch of jobs, if we send 20 jobs to the printer, right, the server is going to store it until the printer's ready for it. And then once it's printed, right, it's gone, right? Print, gone. It'll be cached there for a little bit, but it'll delete it.
But isn't storage space long term?
Storage is long term, but not in like days and things like that. The CPU can't handle right now printing 300 pages, right? That's a lot of information. So keep it in storage, and then when it's ready, right, memory, CPU, process, etc. All right, so we're going to talk about software servers and hardware servers. Software servers. Let's say you have an Apple computer running Mac OS, which is not Windows operating system. Well, in order to print something on Mac, you're going to need a software print server so you can print things. On Apple devices, their browser is also called Safari. So if you're using Safari on a Windows device, automatically what's going to be installed on that computer is a free software provided by Apple called Bonjour, which I believe is French for hello. So that's the Bonjour print server. This is a software print server, right, that we can see here that allow you to operate, goes on in the background so you can print from that browser, which is native on Mac but not on Windows, so that way it can print to that server, then get to the printer. So software print servers. Scrolling down
So software print server just allow computers.
for different operating systems. The hardware print server, that's an actual physical piece of equipment. And we already talked about dedicated. Ready to see what we know? Okay. The server accepts incoming print jobs from computers, thereby freeing the computers for other tasks. However, it can only manage one printer. Hardware. Used in large network environments to manage multiple printers at a time. Dedicated. The computer sharing the printer uses its own resources to manage the print jobs coming to the printer. Software. It must have a powerful processor, adequate storage, and memory to do all of the requests. Dedicated. Who, yeah? Questions? All right.